Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to show you the Junction strategy on Shadows of Evil Black Ops 3. Now this strategy has been around for almost a year now, I think. It's been around for a long time. But it was only until recently, within like the last year, where people were actually using this strat instead of the famous waterfront strategy to actually get high rounds. Today I'm going to show you the basics of actually how to actually do this strategy. Whether you're going for no gums, classics, megas, all this stuff, no ATs, no matter what you're going to do, the beginning of your game is going to be the exact same. So I'm going to show you guys actually how to do this strat successfully. And then I'll also tell you some different tips in the later rounds and some different ways you can actually high round the map. Now, as you look into the game, make sure you have a max ammo in that little like doorway here. You can grab this max ammo no matter what. So even if you are on the other side of the door, you can just go hop in the beast, grapple all the way up and go around and grab the max ammo. So make sure you get a max ammo there. It'll help speed up your game. Buy an RK5, whatever. You're gonna go into beast, hop on this truck, and then hop on this. Now this could be very hard at the beginning, but once you keep doing it over and over and over again, very easy. Want to get out of that? So let me back up because you might not even have noticed what I was doing there. So you'll notice I get to this point right here. So you have to wait until this is at 14 seconds. It's kind of blocking it, whatever this black thing, I don't know. I can't even, whatever. Oh, right here. You can see this is at 14 seconds. You want to start like doing that escape thing around 14 seconds. You want to zap the box around 15 seconds. Now the reason you're zapping it at 15 seconds is because you want to kill the whole entire round down here in the first room. Now if you do it too early, what will happen is a zombie will spawn up above the stairs. You don't want that. That is horrible. So you're gonna go kill zombies, throw a grenade right there. You see this, follow exactly how I did this first room. Might be a little annoying, and right there you see, boom, run it all the way around. You need to be very fast here. You do not want to breach. This is kind of just how to be fast. This is a high round, of course, so it doesn't really matter if you are very slow, but just kind of try and stay here. Now, hug the left. So right now there's a death barrier. If you don't know how this works, is basically the whole entire area by the Gobble machine to the right side is all a death barrier. You cross that death barrier, you're gonna die. So just do what I do, kind of just stay here in this little like strat. And what you're gonna do here, how this death barrier works, this whole entire area right now is a death barrier. How it works is every 3 seconds the death barrier goes off. So you'll see actually here in my chat, I wrote it. It's called !Jack. Basically, at 1 minute and 0.9 seconds, when that gets hit, that means the death barrier is going to go off. Which means, if I am in this area at all, when the death barrier goes off, I will die. Now you can kind of think about what you have to do. You want to leave to go open up that door right after 1 minute and 0.9 seconds. So you're going to see, go, boom, see I'm going, and I get it. The door opens. Now what does this mean? The death barrier is gone. Because you opened that door, the game now has lifted the death barrier. So now basically, as you can see right here, this door is still closed, the first room door. Because this door is closed, the game will kill you with that death barrier. That's kind of like their defense mechanism. But if you can get past the death barrier by how I just showed you, you can lift that death barrier. And there's also 2 death barriers. So now I'm going to show you the second death barrier. This death barrier is much easier to get past. So now you'll see I look back 144.7. So this death barrier is very easy. It's actually like this wooden, I'm pretty sure it's this right here, but it's a very short distance. So as soon as it goes off, boom, open the door, there you go. Now you can freely hit Gobble machine, whatever. This is the start of the strategy. Now we have the strategy fully unlocked. This is exactly how you do the strategy. Now, depending on what you're doing, there's a lot of different ways you can go for this strategy. The only time I've actually done this strategy is right now, where I've been playing Shadows of Evil, no AATs, megas. There's a lot of things on the strategy that can actually cause you to G-spawn and crash as well. So I will get into right now basically how to stop that crash and G-spawn. So right here you see we are at the spot still. We're kind of playing fast now. So what you want for the setup, you want Arnie's, you want all your perks, whatever, this. You do not want an upgraded sword. You actually want the unupgraded sword. It sounds very odd, I understand. Unupgraded sword is actually very OP for the strategy. If you've been watching me on Twitch and YouTube going for this high round, you'll have seen that this strategy with the sword, slamming it as fast as you possibly can, is very OP for the strategy. Now, specifically for this strategy, I might add, if you're doing waterfront, where you're running in circles constantly, you want to use the upgraded sword because the upgraded sword is much better for that strategy. But this strategy, the unupgraded sword is much better. So you definitely want to use that unupgraded sword. So this is basically the whole entire setup. The guns you're using is up to you. So I'm doing no ATs. So obviously I don't have any Pack-a-Punch. I didn't even open up Pack-a-Punch. Now, if you are going to do a regular high round, which majority of you guys probably are going to be doing, the guns you want to use are the LCAR and the KRM, obviously, because the LCAR and the KRM are right there. I'm going to link world record gameplay from like Ganon, Snipes, Fadeds, I don't know, anybody I can find, good gameplay where they know what they're doing. you can go ahead and watch their gameplay, what they're doing for the regular high round for megas, classics, no-gums, whatever. That is the strategy they do. I do not do, I haven't done the regular megas or classics high round on this strategy. I've only done no AATs. So it wouldn't really be fair for me to actually explain how to do that strategy because I've actually never done it myself. So what I'm going to explain right now, though, is simply just how to get the easiest round 100. What I do know for a fact, if you are going to play megas, so for people that are playing classics, what I would tell you to do right now is honestly just go watch classics gameplay of Fadeds or Ganon Snipes. I'll link it in the description. You guys can go watch that. But for people that are playing megas, if you're playing megas no ATs or megas high round, you do not open a Pack-a-Punch. I know this for a fact. If you're going to do a regular megas high round, make sure you use wall power and make sure you use bullet boost. Opening up Pack-a-Punch allows meatballs to start spawning. Now the problem with meatball spawning is it's very similar to Revelations and the Furies. Fury spawning delays the spawns of zombies. So for example, when you grab a nuke, obviously this delays the spawns of the zombies. Zombies stop spawning until all of the zombies on the map are dead from the nuke. When a Fury spawns, as soon as that Fury spawns, the Fury has to fully be spawned in and start walking until and then the zombies will start spawning again, so maybe you can lose it 2 seconds, 3 seconds. The meatballs are the same way as the Furies. When a meatball spawns in, the zombies stop for maybe like a 1 or 2 seconds and they spawn again. So if you are going to be playing a high round, plus also in general, meatballs are just ass. Like, meatballs are so annoying to deal with. So if you're going to play a megas high round, definitely do not open up Pack-a-Punch. If you're playing no AATs, definitely do not open up Pack-a-Punch because there's no point opening up Pack-a-Punch, especially if you're playing no AATs. Getting a Pack-a-Punch HVK a la carte is not going to help you. So if you can't use Deadwire or if you can't use Blast Furnace, you can't use Thunderwall, then it is not going to help you. Now people will get confused on how to kill the Margwa too. The Margwa is very easy to kill. You just kind of pop the Silver Protector right here. He spawns in right there and the Margwa will die. So just kind of wait for the Margwa to get into the vicinity of that. Honestly, what I do, as soon as the Margwa starts walking, just call that in and he'll land right on it. But that is where you kill the Margwa. Margwa is very easy to kill. Now I'm going to get into actually how to not G-spawn on the strategy because you can actually G-spawn very easily on the strategy. Now, funny enough, when I was doing this right now, you see I'm shooting in the ground spawn. I actually had no clue what I was doing. I was doing this, shooting in the ground spawn, thinking I was totally fine. Do not use the death machine in the ground spawn, okay? You can use the insta-kill. Do not use the death machine. What's going to happen is, okay, so I'm using the death machine right now. The death machine itself is not going to cause me to G-spawn. But what happens, it's going to allow G-spawns to come much easier than before. So if I'm on round 100 and I have never used the death machine in the ground spawn, I'm spamming it in the ground. If I've never done that, it's going to be very hard for me to G-spawn because, I don't know, the death machine, I didn't shoot in the death machine. If I'm shooting the death machine in the ground, as you see I am right now, it will allow the game to G-spawn or like error. I guess if you don't know what G-spawn is, it's basically just an error. It'll allow my game to error much easier than somebody that was not using death machine in the spawn. So we watch this clip right here. You're gonna see I'm on 79. What I'm doing right now is completely fine. Everything I did there, we'll rewind a little bit if you didn't see it. Everything I was doing here, completely fine. Nothing should have caused me to G-spawn. The problem was that I was spamming death machine into the ground spawn. Because I was doing this, it made my game much more broken than it should have been. And as you can see, as a result, the game G-spawned, it crashes, I go to the forest, whatever. Now, another thing as well, do not shoot your Apothican servant near this railing. So, the Apothican servant will not crash your game if you shoot it down here in this little water pod right here, whatever. This water, like, I don't know. If you shoot it down here, you'll be perfectly fine. Now, you see this ground right here by the railing. Shooting your Apothican servant by this railing is what is going to cause you to G-spawn. So do not shoot it by this railing on the ground. You see, I shoot it down there. That is completely fine. Now, I'm currently editing, as you can see right now, and I forgot to mention one thing. Actually, if you say you do shoot by this railing on accident, like I was saying in the video right now, what you can do to stop the crash from happening is shooting in at the ground. So if you shoot at the railing on accident and, you know, the game is going to crash because you shot at the railing, what you can do to stop the crash is actually shoot at the ground spawn. So what causes the crash is that explosion at the end of the shot, killing all of the zombies in the ground spawn. For some reason, that causes the crash. So if you actually put an Apothican shot on the ground spawn, the game will not crash because that Apothican shot you used after you shot at the railing will stop it from spawning. A lot of other ways as well is breaching. So say you shoot at the railing and you have no more shots, for example. Just run away. Run away from the 2 window. Start breaching on purpose so the zombies stop spawning in the ground spawn. There's a lot of different things you can do to actually stop the crash if you do end up shooting at the railing on accident. Now, the little range area you can kind of say, I guess, to where it's going to cause you to G-spawn or not, is what Jack P told me. He said you can shoot up until the middle of this red circle. So shooting right here would be very risky. This is very close to being aired, so do not shoot right here. You can shoot all the way up until this middle of the red circle and maybe like this little line here by the truck. This is the line, you can almost call it, of where you're going to G-spawn. So do not shoot anything from, if we rewind, do not shoot anything from the middle of this circle all the way to this railing on the ground here. If you do that, your game will air. The thing that causes the G-spawn or the air is that explosion of the Apothican shot. That when an Apothican shot finishes, there's a big explosion at the end that kills all the zombies in the vicinity. That explosion is what causes the G-spawn. So as long as you keep that shot away from the ground spawn, you'll be fine. So you see right here what I'm doing is completely fine. I can do this all the way up until 255. Perfectly fine. Nothing will cause me to G-spawn. Now these are the two main ways you're going to G-spawn. Using death machines, using the Apothican servant. I've also been told as well that using insta-kills on the ground spawn is fine up until round 100. So once you hit round 100, do not use insta-kills on the ground spawn. Do not do what I'm doing right now. You see I'm doing this where I'm shooting in the ground spawn to death. Do not do this. I'm telling you, do not. In this game, I ended up airing. I just showed you the air. So do not do this, what I'm doing right now. Okay? But these are the main ways you're going to air. Shooting death machine in the ground spawn and shooting the Apothican shots next to the railing. Now when it comes to the high round strategy, if you're just going for around 100, this is what I'm going to show you and what to do exactly. So right here you see I'm kind of smashing the sword. So what you're going to do is kind of do a little half forward right there. You see I do? Shoot the shot. What I would suggest doing actually is shooting that shot by the window right here. This is actually something I learned really recently after I did this. Shoot the shot by the window, you'll kill a lot more zombies instead of shooting it in the middle here. So you're going to be watching me do this. I'm going to be shooting it in the middle as you see right there. I would actually suggest shooting it by the window. But doing this, shooting two shots, this will give you enough for your sword back. Now you're going to do this little smashing technique with your sword. It looks really goofy, I know. But how you do this, a lot of people are really confused on how to do this. All you do is hold down the aim button. So right mouse button if you're on your keyboard or mouse. If you're on a controller, left trigger. Hold down the aim button and you spam shoot. So me spamming shoot is what's making it going down constantly over and over again. Doing this is going to be killing the zombies over and over. You want to actually camp by where the ground spawn is. You don't want to camp by the other one. Now doing this, you can easily get to around 100. If you use megas, you can easily, pop raindrops, alchem, cashbacks, killjoys, shopping free. Those 5 gums easily round 100 with megas. Now, classics, it'll get a little bit more complicated if you're doing classics, no AETs. Classics, no AETs, you're definitely going to have to do a trade out around like the 80s. Trade outs are very easy on this map. I'll go ahead and link Delta News gameplay. Delta News is actually really good at trading out on this map. He does it in no power, which is obviously no juggernaut. If you're interested in learning how to do trade outs, I'll definitely make sure to link his gameplay down below. But yeah, I mean, doing this strategy, you see I got a cashback now. You can go ahead, throw Arnie's in the middle of the round and go hit. Obviously, if you weren't able to tell as well, the barriers of breaching is going across where that death barrier is. So that whole entire area where the death barrier was, that is breaching. You do not want to be there. That is considered a breach. The zombies will spawn in other places. On the other side, by the L car, like right behind the L car. So as soon as you see the L car going past it, that is the breach for that side. So you actually do have a lot of space to work with for this 2 spawn. So very easy and simple. You can hit in the middle of rounds if you guys want. Throw Arnie's. If you want to upgrade Arnie's as well, if you're doing no ATs, upgrading Arnie's will definitely work. Give you a lot more points. There's a lot of different things you can do in this. So another tip I have as well is doing your bug rounds in canals. Now, you might be wondering why the hell would this even matter? For some random reason, if you end the bug round in canals, all of the bugs that spawn in on a normal zombies round, so this is 95, all the bugs that spawn in on round 96 while I'm camping at the 2 window, all of them are going to fly towards canals. Now, this might not be the fastest thing because obviously this is going to mean the bugs are going to be out of reach to kill, but it's going to be so nice because if you're camping here, bugs are just going to be constantly spawning, spamming you in the face while you're trying to kill zombies. But now, instead of them spawning and shooting you in the face, they're going to just be running all the way to canals. Definitely use the Apothican Servant as much as you can early in the game instead of the sword. Now, the reason I did this was simply because using the Apothican Servant is going to give you points while killing with the sword is not going to give you points. Obviously, getting the most points as possible is suggested, as while you get later into the game, you'll be able to double hit more and more with the more points you have. Another thing as well, at the beginning of every round, make sure you're shooting your Apothican shots kind of by the truck to get your 2 drops. If you didn't know, on Shadows of Evil, you can only get 2 drops a map. If you haven't got your drops yet, you see right here I'm shooting by this window because obviously I've already got my drops. If you have not gotten your 2 drops yet, do not shoot at this window because you're not going to get drops. Or you might get drops, but a lot more likely to get drops if you shoot in the middle where zombies can come and spawn and get drops. So definitely do that. Another thing as well is obviously you have pods all across the map. So definitely take advantage of using those pods for max ammos. If you didn't know, those pods, purple pods, can give you drops. Now, these drops that they give you are actually the drops in your cycle. So people don't know this. They think it's just any random drop. No. If you have a guaranteed max ammo in your cycle, the pods will give you a max ammo as the first drop. Say you have 6 drops left in your cycle. If you get an insta-kill from the pods, that insta-kill counts as a drop in your cycle. So you're not going to get an insta-kill from the zombies because you already got your insta-kill from the pods. So there's obviously 3 pods in Junction. There's 3 pods in Canals. There's 2 in Footlight. There's 4 in Waterfront. You cannot access the pod and spawn, unfortunately, because the door is blocking it, so that sucks. Using all these different things will help your game just be so much better. Also, I would suggest building the shield in Canals. You'll see I didn't build it in this game, but I would definitely suggest building that shield for Canals. For the people that I'm going to suggest for you guys to watch for this strategy specifically is Ganon Snipes. This is one person. There's a lot of people that have done this strategy, but also there's a lot of people that have no idea what they're doing. So somebody like Ganon Snipes, obviously you can see he has a lot of records. He knows what he's doing. Shadows of Evil, watching his gameplay, I would definitely suggest watching his gameplay specifically for Shadows of Evil. Another person is Faded. He knows what he's doing when it comes to the strategy. So if you're curious for how to do Shadows of Evil, he even has the 100 spin for Shadows. Definitely watching his gameplay will help as well. Another person as well is Jack Pavlik. I don't know what his name is on ZWR. His name is Lost Feeling. There you go. Watching his gameplay is going to help as well. He has the No Perks Classics. If you just click on his profile, you'll see a lot of his stuff. He has obviously Mega 335 and Shadows Classics. A lot of this stuff might be a little bit outdated, but when it comes to the basic stuff, he even has the 2P no ATs. He's gonna know what he's doing. So obviously, what I was kind of showing today was kind of the early route to round 100. But if you're one of those people that are gonna want to go to 255, definitely watch some of this gameplay. This is the No Perks, the No Jug. Any of these games, I would definitely suggest watching Jack P, Ganon, and Faded. Like I said before, I'm going to link in the description videos on how to high round classics, just normal classics high round for Shadows, how to high round normal megas high rounds using the AATs. I've never used the AATs on this map, so obviously I'm not going to show you guys how to do that. For doing trade outs, anybody that's doing no power or doing no AATs, classics, no gums, I'll definitely post videos on how to trade out from Delta News. Other than that, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. Obviously, it's a little bit longer, but this strategy is definitely more in-depth than usual. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys like, subscribe. Make sure you guys let me know what other tutorials you want or any videos you want regarding any zombies game. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day, and I will see you later.